We're going to be going over the process of getting your CDL, everything you need to know, what you must have. It's going to be all compact in this video. So first you have to get your
commercial learner's permit. Wait, why have to say that?
Because I can't remember. Commercial learner's permit. And I recommend these two apps, CDL Prep.
Yes. The two apps we recommend are CDL Prep, which is the blue app with like a little steering wheel on it, and CDL Prep Test by Coco. It's a red app. It just says CDL Test or CDL Prep.
Like, we downloaded 3 apps, but those are literally the only 2 that we use. So first you have to look for what company you want to work for.
There are so many companies out there, and there's only so many that will actually accept new drivers. So problem number 1 is you're going to have to pay for either school. You can either pay by working for a company, and the company will pay you to work for them on a contract for like a year, and they'll pay off this debt for you. Like companies like Prime, and there are a bunch of companies that will do that. So you just have to research. There's a really good YouTube channel called The Trucking Commentary, and a recruiter calls on there. Just look up like recruiter call and then type in the company name that you're interested in, whether that's Schneider, Prime, or like JB Hunt or any of them. They
sorry about or AC that guns.
He calls them and asks them like pretty much all the questions that you would ask the recruiters if you were looking for them. How much the contract is, how long the contract is, how much you would have to pay if you stop the contract. So, but most schools are going to average around $5,000 to $7,000.
Or 9, actually.
Or 9.
Roadmaster.
Yeah, Roadmasters is like higher, usually $8,000, $9,000.
Like, I got a grant, but he had to pay out of pocket. So you can also look into grants in your state. Like in Florida, you could use Career Source, but in different states you have different grants that will help you out.
It's called a WIOA grant or WIOA grant. So if you put that in Google and then find your state, I think you'll be able to find which company, I guess Career Source, I don't know if that's all encompassing, but for the U.S., but you should just find the state you're in and what WIOA grant you can attain. Once you find the place, they should, like Career Source, they should have like a list of schools they work with. They did work with Roadmasters, but the problem was if Kita got a grant, but I didn't get a grant, then I would have to pay $8,000. So I was just budgeting, really trying to figure out which way would be the cheapest, and that's the right way to do it, I think.
And call and talk to as much schools and trucking companies. Just do your research,
Yeah,
call
you
them,
can
talk
call
to
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you may have to finagle it. It's kind of cool that with a trucking channel, because you can just go and listen to what everyone says. You don't have to call everyone. But for specific questions, like for example, the only company I know that will train team drivers, which is what we're doing, is Covenant. So we were really interested in them in the beginning.
Yeah, also some stuff you should look into before choosing a trucking company is if you want to do a flatbed, over the road, or team driving. So those are some stuff you look into.
Most trucking companies want you to start out over the road. You can't, most companies don't just let you go straight to local. It's what we've heard.
Some.
You can find some, but I say you can find some. I haven't really tried it. But I've heard people in our trucking school that were saying that there were some jobs like Champion and stuff out of Jacksonville that would take you straight local if they just happen to have openings.
Yeah. The trucking school that we went to was Florida Trucking School.
Yeah,
Florida
Truck Driving School Inc. is ours that we went to in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you get a lot of time. Like I probably went in the truck like say 12 times for the day. Other persons that we've heard went to Roadmaster was probably in the truck like 2 or 3 times for the day.
They have another one called Tennessee Truck Driving School. That's their main location where they started out of. Sean is the owner. Shout out Sean. So if you're near Tennessee or Florida, definitely hit those up. I think they have another school too, but you just have to look online at their website.
If you're just starting out, you don't have your learner's permit, focus on doing all those questions. Go through all those questions because that is going to help you. Go over those questions, like finish it, restart it.
Yeah.
Like he did it like once and he was good. I probably did it like twice. So it depends on how fast you learn, and then you can sit the test the next day.
Oh yeah, so you can just go to the DMV and take those tests. All those tests are, you just go to the DMV, you pay, and you can take.
All those tests are.
Oh yeah, so those tests are, you have air brakes, you have combination vehicles, and you have your general. So those 3 tests you have to take. This is in the state of Florida. It may differ in other states. But you go to the DMV, you take these 3 separate tests. They actually let us take air brakes and combinations together
Which was good.
at the DMV, but you want to get there early if it's like a DMV we went to, because they'll literally just string you out over like 4 hours
Yeah,
and put you
also-
back into the cycle
Yeah,
if it's a DMV like that.
also if you can get endorsements too,
Mhm.
some of your companies that you want to go with, they'll help you to get it afterwards.
Mhm.
So like the company that we're looking into now is Covenant, and they pay for all your endorsements. Well, 3 endorsements, which are doubles and triples, tankers, and hazmat. So you could do that also. Just depends on your company. Call, talk to them. Some of those information we never got until you like actually call and get in touch with the companies. So
Those tests, those specific tests you take at the DMV, they're only like 20 questions each for the, I think it's like 30 for combination, 20 for air brakes, maybe flip-flopped on that.
or 25. So I think it's 30 actually.
But the pool of questions is a ton of questions. So
200, 300.
there's a lot less in the air brake section and the combination section, so you can get through those pretty quick. But the general was like 400 questions on the CDL prep app. So whenever you go through those, just go through them, really try and like get them in your head. Whenever you take the test, you'll see them and they're almost word for word.
You get like 60 questions each, you get like 55 or 50, right?
Yeah, maybe not 55. I think that's too high.
Yeah,
But,
like 50, right?
you do have to bring in like certain paperwork and stuff. But what you want to do with that, you just want to like search up your state and then what paperwork is required.
Just
Yeah,
call
you
your DMV.
definitely want to try and like call them first before you go there, and they ask for documents, because they'll get you with that. You'll show up and they'll be like, well, you need documents, and you have to go all the way back home,
And come back a different day.
schedule a different day, get there, and then wait in line for all that nonsense like the DMV does. You just want to know why you're in it. If you're in it for money and a career, and you want to be like a real professional truck driver, you want to find all these things that line up where it's not like you're just kind of like getting by. I know it almost seemed like we were skimping out whenever we chose the school that costed less, but it ended up really, really benefiting us in the long term, because we were able to get in the truck a lot more with a smaller class.
I definitely needed all that time in the truck. I don't know
Yeah,
how
me too.
I would have survived with only 2 or 3 times in the truck. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I still feel not super confident in some ways in a truck, and that's just because the nature of it. You're in this giant, behemoth, and you're whipping around, the same streets as all these little cars.
And,
But
and honestly, whenever I tell people that I don't know how to ride a bike and I've only been driving for like a year, 2 years, they're like, wow. So I love it. Like, it's nothing to be scared of. It's just something that
That's
you
the
really,
truth.
really want to do. You want to try it out.
yeah, we're still in our beginning phase.
We're gonna be pushing out a lot of content. We're gonna be documenting.
Follow us on our journey. We're gonna do another video about like sort of like why we're doing this.
So if you see us in the same outfit, we're recording. Catch us in the other one.